Hi, I'm Leslie Lowe. Welcome to Leslie's Lowedown on Life.
Welcome, everybody, to Leslie's Lowedown on Life. Today, I'm hanging out with my friend Victoria Ferro. She owns Audrey's Boutique. You have for 13 years.
I know, it's that long, and I'm only 34.
So that's pretty good. You started when you were just a kid.
I was just a baby,
Just a baby. Yeah, I like that. Same here. Boob whisperer. That's what
Bra whisperer.
Bra whisperer. I'm going with straight up boob whisperer.
Men call me a boob whisperer, but women understand it's the bra whisperer.
Yeah, and I've got my cup here, and
Yeah.
I love that. So I want to talk first about that because it's kind of multifaceted. You've been involved in and helping women who are going through difficult times
Mhm.
and in just being fitted for a bra after a mastectomy to
Yeah.
just us everyday people.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
I-
how'd you get the name Bra Whisper?
Actually, a customer gave me that name because when I go in and I fit women in bras, I don't take a tape measure to them. And the reason is because 85% of the time a tape measure is wrong. And there's no standardization in bra sizing. So I just go in, I look at them. You know, you become an unconscious competent. So it's hard for me to like step back and explain how I do this. But I go out, I listen to what they tell me their lifestyle is, what, if they have children, they're picking them up, that sort of thing. And I go out and I get them a bra, and probably 95% of the time, the first bra is a fit. They may not like the style of the bra, but it's a fit. So that gives me my guidance. And one customer called me Pastor Vic, and I was like, what the hell is that? And she goes, well, you lift me up. I was like, okay. But customers were like, you're like the dog whisperer or the horse whisperer. We're going to call you the bra whisperer. And it stuck. So sure, why not? They could call me other things that are not nice, so might as well the bra whisperer.
Well, you're a Jersey girl, so you're kind of spicy, which I like.
I am. I'm going to be very careful about my vocabulary today because
I'm not going to worry about it.
Okay, good.
I like you when you're spicy. So bra whisper, and again, multifaceted because you do just help the average. And I think that's a gift to be able to look at somebody and go, okay, this is what you need.
It is a gift. I mean, everybody has their own gifts. Like I cannot decorate rooms. Amazingly enough, I decorate women. I dress women. And I go from the bottom up. And unfortunately, the one part of women and styling women it's like when you redo a room and you've got to spend $10,000 to redo your plumbing, which is something you're not going to see, and you're like, I don't want to spend that on that. Women don't want to spend money on bras. But really, one of the things, I got to stop hitting that. One of the things that will make your clothes look better is a well-fitting bra. And you can't have just one. You need a minimum of 3 bras because you should never wear a bra more than 2 wearings without washing it and air drying it. Got it?
Good to know,
Well, you
actually.
wouldn't know. You wouldn't.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's just some, and I get it. People don't understand. They weren't taught this, or they're like, I don't want to spend the money on a bra. And so I'll wear it for a week. I'm like, ew, I'm not going to touch that bra. It's not good. It's like you don't wear the same underpants every day.
True story.
Yeah.
And undergarments, I mean, really, they make the outfit.
They do.
It starts underneath. And a lot of times it takes a minute for us to learn that.
Exactly. I mean, it's like everybody has to have, a good baseline. And it's like you go to college so you can become whatever you want to be, or, school. You have a good base, and a good base in this case is a good bra. Sometimes a little shapewear to suck some stuff in, but, it just makes a big difference. I get women coming in and they're trying on gowns. They have a child getting married or something, and they don't want to look old. But they're wearing a bra where their girls are down to their knees. And they're like, oh, I'm so fat. And I said, well, if we pull those up, you have a waist under there. Can I put a new bra on you? You don't have to like it, but at least for trying on clothes, it makes a big difference.
And then they end up going, yes, I'll take that.
Yeah. And it's also better for your health, too, to have a well-fitted bra because your back is a very important thing. And especially my ladies who are fuller cupped, they're hunched over all the time. And, they get to stand up straight. And it's amazing to see the expression on their faces goes from kind of like, to look at me, So
It's true. Those are things that sometimes we just don't think about. So what should us ladies be looking for in a good bra?
first off, the support of your bra comes in the band, not in the cup. That's the biggest misnomer. A lot of women think that they buy an underwire bra, that's what supports them. No. All an underwire does is shape breast tissue. So here's the boob, here's the underwire. You want the underwire right where the breast and rib cage meet. That band, when you're trying on bras, there's usually 3 rows of hooks. The middle set of hooks is the band measurement. So if it's a 36 and I'm putting that on you, I fit you in the middle, because this way, and other places that have a name similar to mine don't do this. I won't say who they are. They'll just put a bra on you, hopefully that holds up your girls. They don't care if the band is too big or if it's too small, or they'll tell you to put extenders on it. Do not do that. Don't buy a bra if you're putting extenders on it. Why bother then? Seriously.
Sounds uncomfortable.
It's very uncomfortable. But yeah, so the band is the support. The underwires shape the breast tissue, and the straps fine tune everything. That's the basics. But I have other bras that I have. Gosh, I've got a line of bras that I can't even keep in stock now that are non-underwire bras. They're made out of scuba net. And the woman who founded the company actually started calling me, and I kept telling her, no, 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 no. And finally she goes, I'm going to send you 12 bras, and I'm going to send a 13th one for you. And she already knew at this point, because she'd been calling me so much, that I only wore black or nude bras. And February of, this was 2020, she said, I'm sending these to you. So February of 2020, I get this package, and there's 12 kind of normal colored bras and a 13th one that's wrapped up with my name on it. So I hand these bras out. Young, old, thick, thin, pregnant, not pregnant, and said, do me a favor, call me in a couple days, let me know what you think of these bras. And I'm getting phone calls the same day from these women saying, please send me more. Can you get me more? And I said, well, I better open up my package and see what the is in there. I open it up. It's an effing peacock blue bra. I was like, oh my God, I better try it anyway. So I did it on a Sunday when I wasn't in the store, and all I could think of was, oh my God, I have a blue bra on. That's all I concentrated on. And I kept saying to my other half, do I still have 2 boobs? Do I still have 2 boobs? And he was used to that because I try bras. He's like, yes. I kind of went, all right, she wins. I lose. I have to buy these bras. But I was really glad I did, because that was 2020. And I ordered the bras. Mid-March, 350 bras arrived. And 2 days later, we were shut down for COVID. And I started bringing the bras home and doing live videos from my house. And I was selling these bras to the point I had to reorder. So, and now I've been with them for 5 years. And they're my number 1 selling bra. Every day, 60 to 65% of the bras I sell are this manufacturer. And I can't keep them in stock. So
and we're going to go back to what you did in 2020, because you were amazing. The way you kind of revolutionized shopping with your social media was fantastic. So we are going to go back to that, because I really want people to go watch you, because you're a lot of fun to watch. But I want to talk about, okay, so we talk about like the average bra for the average lady, but you also, I mean, you're a game changer for women who have gone through breast cancer and reconstructive surgery or a full mastectomy.
Yeah, I am a certified mastectomy fitter. Unfortunately, COVID made it so that we no longer process the insurance claims. And I thought, I'm going to lose a lot of our business, but I didn't. People preferred to have me fit them, and I forever grateful for that. I mean, seriously. But yeah, you know, breast cancer is a horrible, horrible diagnosis for a woman. And I have seen women go through so many different phases of, you know, it's almost like a grief process. And, you know, you get that odd thing where the husband comes in and you know, I will always want the husband to come in so I can explain to him what I'm doing and why we're doing this. And this is usually pre-surgery. And they may come in post-surgery as well. And I invite them as long as their wife or spouse or partner says it's okay. But I've gotten things where I am in a fitting room, and I can't tell you how many times I cry in a fitting room with somebody, how many times we laugh. And these are 2 women maybe both at the same stage in their diagnosis. And it's an up and down seesaw for me. And then I get partners that they don't respect their wife or partner because of what happened to them. And they're mad about it. And they don't agree with the woman not having a reconstruction, or and it gets to the point that I actually have to play referee, and then I will remove the spouse. I have no bones about it. That's just sorry. I know it came out. Sorry.
You're good.
Because breast cancer is a journey, but it's not a journey that your life stops. It's just you got to put on a couple of different clothes. And I respect every woman who sits there and says to me, I don't want reconstruction. I want to have just prosthetics. Or a woman says, I'm having breast reconstruction. And I respect that. You do what you do you. But let's make it all work, because we've got pretty clothes to try on. And again, it's their basis. And that's what we do. I don't dwell on it. I hug them. I give them love. We get a lot of laughs. And I should probably write the dictionary on what to call boobs, because I've heard more
everything,
more referrals and different words and all. But I don't want to treat that woman differently, because she's still a woman, and she still needs to feel beautiful, because everyone who walks into Audrey's is beautiful. Sometimes they don't know it. Even I don't know it. I know I'm beautiful once in a while. There are days I walk in and I catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror and I go, yeah, you got it going on. But then, just like everybody else, I have my insecurities. And as you get older, you go, oh, I got, flabby arms. I call them angel wings.
And they are.
And they are. They are. My wings are so good. I will zoom up there. But yeah, so it's all a matter of being with that person and just going, you're okay. This is okay. You're on this side of the grass. So let's just do it.
And it is such a personal journey, such a personal journey. And then just knowing that you have that connection with them and you've got their back, meaning you'll remove any negativity that's around it and making it experience
I'm from Jersey.
them.
I'll beat up anybody that comes in there and screws up my day. Or let's not do that. No, it's just very important that a woman feels whole.
Yes.
And it will take a while. They'll have to get used to, if they decide to go the prosthetic route, they have to get used to that. I get women that come in and they've had one breast removed and they're using a prosthetic on the other, and they come in maybe 3 or 4 years later and they're like, I think the other one's going to go. Okay, now what size do you want to be? Because maybe they were very full busted and I had to match the remaining breast. And they're like, I'd like to be smaller. Well, okay, we can do that. Some women come in and go, I want to be like Dolly Parton. I'm like, sure, I got boxes of boobs. Let's just do it.
Set you up.
Yeah. So it's a matter of I don't take what they're going through lightly, because in my mind I treat them like a fine piece of bone china. And then once we've been through this for a year or two, we're like, let's just go. Let's just do it. And it's fine.
You're giving them the gift of feeling like themselves again.
I try to.
Yeah, which is amazing. And you really do. You dress so many different women. I have dresses from you that I have people who are like, where did you get that? And I send them right over to you. But when somebody walks in the door, because I always know when I walk in the door, you can look at me and go, okay, let's do this or that. And you're very good at that. When somebody walks in the door, what are the tips that you want to give them as far as how to dress for your body type or even your age? Because I know I have questions about that. You know, you get to that age where you're like, can I still wear that? Should I still wear that?
Oh, absolutely. So first off, when a woman comes in, if we're doing, well, keep in mind, I have dressed women for everything from the Oscars, the Emmys, the Tonys, the Grammys to presidential balls, that sort of thing. I have dressed entertainers that have come into town. So everybody is different. So you have your event. Most of the time, the most important time is a person coming in because their child's getting married. And no woman wants to look like an old lady.
Amen to that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. And so anyway, what I do is I talk to them about the event. And while I'm talking to them, and I'm looking them right in the eye, but I'm also looking at them standing up, they're a Barbie doll. Every woman that walks in is like a Barbie doll to me. So as they're talking to me and they're telling me about their event, and we talk about, is there a particular color? What's the formality? Where is it at? Blah, 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 all that stuff. I try to mentally put myself into that event. But I'm also mentally putting dresses on that person. So I know when I say, okay, let's go in the fitting room, and I'll grab 4 or 5 dresses and we go in the fitting room. Sometimes I show it to the client because I still don't get a read on what their taste is. Like I'll show them something really lacy and I'll show them something very sophisticated and they'll go, yes, no, whatever. And I go, okay, now I know where I'm going. And we start trying clothes on. And sometimes I look at a woman, she's got a full hip. I want to pull her shoulder line out. So I want to open up her neckline, create that optical illusion that her shoulders are wider than her hip, which creates a smaller waist. Other women who are built like I am, they've got big shoulders and no butt. We do something that creates that optical illusion of a waist with hips. And it's just Barbie dressing, only on big people.
Which is fascinating to me because I think so often we just look at an outfit that's maybe in a magazine or a catalog or on somebody else and we think, oh, I want that. But oftentimes, maybe that outfit won't look as good on you.
Well, okay, you're short like I am. Or
Yes,
as I like
am.
to refer to it as fun size. We're fun size.
We're fun size.
And everything I really, really like, I really should be 5'9" for. I don't have the height to pull off certain looks. And so sometimes I'll get women that come in and they want that, they're fun size like we are, but they want that 5'9" look. So I try to find things that can mimic that.
So you're telling me you can make me look 5'9"?
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Hey,
in.
you know what? Every morning I get showered, I brush my teeth. Before I put my makeup on, I look in the mirror and I go, you're 34, 5'9" and 110 pounds. I put my bra on and I'm like, let's go.
We're like that small little Shih Tzu dog that thinks that they're Great Dane.
Exactly. And it's funny because people sometimes when they meet me that have never met me before, but they've either seen the videos or they've talked to me or what have you, they go, oh my God, you're so short.
I get that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you see pictures of yourself with your friends and you go, and I don't think of myself as short, but I look at pictures of myself with my friends and I'm like, God, I'm like up to her boobs. That's it. What the
I didn't know I was that short.
Yeah. Am I really that
How
small?
did that happen? No, I do. I think it's so, to me, that's been like a learning process is how to dress for your own body type and even color.
Right.
Like you may love a particular color, but that color may not look good on you.
Exactly.
And somebody sometimes needs to tell you that.
And women who are our height are the hardest people to dress. Seriously. First off, we need to know a very good seamstress because,
Right.
there's a hem. But it's easier for me to dress a taller woman who is a full figure gal than it is for me to dress someone who's our height and smaller.
And is that because patterns can be overwhelming?
Exactly.
Because length, because of the way something's cut?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And a lot of times it's the shorter women that want the taller girl outfits. So it's a learning process. And I try to make sure I am so against body shaming on people because I think that's ridiculous. So I try my very, very best to explain. And when I put something in the fitting room, I say, if I will tell you if I like something on you, and I will tell you if I don't, but I will tell you why for both. And I try to teach them how to dress to their silhouette.
All right. What are the 3 most important things that a woman needs in her closet?
Every woman, it's a little black dress. Every woman should have a little black shift dress. That the hem is a third of the way down the kneecap because this way it creates the optical illusion of length no matter how tall or short you are. And it also makes your leg look thinner. You don't want a hem to hit the fatty part of your calf because it'll make you look stumpy.
Oh, I did not know that.
And there you go. Did I teach you something? Oh my gosh.
You taught me
Oh my gosh.
something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a big thing. That no matter how tall or short you are, that's something to think about.
Okay.
You need a good, well-fitting pair of jeans. And you need a good white button-down shirt that fits you beautifully. Because that can be everything from a jacket to something you wear with a tank underneath it with a good, well-fitting pair of jeans. You can take it, tuck it into a fabulous black pencil skirt, put some pearls with it, roll your sleeve up. You don't want the sleeves down because you're not a nun. Roll them up, pop the collar, pair of black pumps, you're done.
And that
Goes everywhere. Goes everywhere.
Okay, I'm going to ask the question that, and this is a conversation that we'll have down in the newsroom,
Right.
Or with friends in general. Hate shopping for jeans or pants in general because they're so difficult.
Okay, so Two things women hate shopping for are bras and blue jeans.
Yes. And yes.
And every time people come there, I can never find a pair of jeans. I'm kind of the same way. I'm not a jeans store. I carry jeans, but I carry jeans that I know. I have a flat butt. It goes without saying. I don't have an ass. But I carry jeans in different waists and sizes so that I can fit the girl she's got a Kardashian booty, or she's, got no ass like me. Or she needs the higher rise. And a lot of women, drives me crazy when I see women who are a little fuller figured and they wear pants that are hip huggers. Like back in the day, remember hip huggers?
Yes.
And they're tight because they think, well, I could zip them down there. But then when they've got a Santa Claus belly coming out, or a menopause belly, whatever you want to call it. And that's just not attractive. It really isn't. You put a T-shirt on a woman like that and they lift their arms, their belly's hanging out. Come on.
And it's uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable. But they think that's what they're supposed to look like. And so we'll put some jeans on and they'll go, well, it's up to here. And the leg is baggy. I get it. But let's balance you out. And so I put different styles on them so they can see what balances their silhouette. Some women, they've got, no butt and they got skinny legs, but they're a little fuller up top, tummy and everything. They look like lollipops. And that's why I say, you look like a lollipop. Let's not do that. Let's balance you all out. And that's what we do. It's a trial and error thing.
I always say I like straight lines.
Me too.
I like the straight lines look.
Well, when you're shorter like we are, monochromatic and straight lines are the best. Absolutely the best.
So real. Okay, I'm going to go back really quick.
Sure.
Because dressing for your age, because as we get older, there's that whole thing of, should I wear this or shouldn't I wear this? Is there something, or is there anything that stands out to you that you go, hands off, you got to let that go as you get older?
First off, as we get older, we tend
I'm asking for a friend.
I bet you are. Okay. Listen, I grew up in the mini skirt era. And if you got great legs, knock your socks off. But honestly, don't do a mini skirt where the skirt ends halfway through your thigh. You are not 15 or 16 going to homecoming. I find that really disconcerting when I see that. You want to wear a shorter skirt, top of the knee, but mid-thigh, anything 3 or 4 inches above your knee when you're mature.
Well put.
And it doesn't mean you can't be sexy, okay? Sometimes sexy is what you can't see, what you suggest. So you want to wear like a straight cocktail dress, have a slit on the side. I don't care where the slit goes. As long as it doesn't go to your woo-woo, what do I care? But
this is why I love her.
But I would rather see a woman, if they want to be sexy, and I'd rather have them be more suggestive than just stick it out there. That's a personal opinion. We all have them. We have them like assholes. So, But I've seen that. And I've seen it around here too. And I'm like, I look at a woman and I'm like, you are my freaking age. Really? You went to a prom store for that. Get over yourself. It's not prom. More women tend to look more elegant and sexy with a less is more kind of a look.
I was just going to say less is more.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, I like that whole analogy.
You can do the sparkles. You can do the disco ball look. I don't care. There's certain places then, yeah, okay, go ahead. Knock your socks off. But when you're wearing something that you would put on a 16, 17-year-old, mazel tov. Good for you. You can wear it. How about wearing something that looks a little bit more your age? That's my biggest thing. And the other thing is, women, as we get older, we get into a uniform. Yes, I wear black a lot, but the reason I wear black is because when I'm working with a client, I'm standing behind them. We're not looking at my clothes. I'm kind of a backdrop. That's why I wear black a lot.
Oh, that makes sense.
See, a lot of people think I just wear it because, I'm lazy. But no, it is easier to get dressed in the morning.
I always just call you Johnny Cash.
There you go. I can sing. I don't like country music, though. Anyway, but women get into a uniform. My mother was in the beauty industry. She was a hairdresser. And when she got dressed up, she looked like Astor's pet horse. She was gorgeous. But as she got older, Land's End khaki pants and knit T-shirts became her uniform. And, it would be like, Mom, you got something else to wear? She says, oh, I'm comfortable. It's fine. No, 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 no. And she was a beautiful woman. She really was. And I just, I think about that. It was her uniform. And I see women out there that they get into a uniform and it's like, let's try something different. Even and when you see me on Saturday, I will not be wearing black. And I'm going to do that on purpose.
Just so that you can pop.
Right.
You're going to show us you're not always Johnny Cash.
That's right. I have no fear.
I love that. I just lost my train of thought because I was just so fascinated by everything you're saying. I'm just like,
I'm so full of information.
No, I'm thinking about the fact that I have my own uniform. And I think that we all do that. And I was thinking about that as you were saying that. I'm like, oh, gosh, I do. I make a joke of it because I say I have 2 wardrobes, workout clothes and like dresses for on air.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
And then and I forget how to dress otherwise.
Well, I have to tell you, now you wore one of my dresses on air, this black dress. And that made so many people talk about it because it was different.
It was
the long little scarf on the side.
Yep.
It was still the same basics, but it just had a little bit of an edge to it.
Which is what I like.
And I remember I came home from work and in fact, I took a picture of you and sent it to you. So look at you, you're wearing my dress. And I got more comments. People would come to me in the store not knowing that you got the dress from Audrey's. But they said, did you see Leslie Lowe on the news last night? She had this dress on, and they described this black dress. And I go, oh, this one? Oh, is that the dress? And they were like, it's so beautiful. And they were trying it on. Now, I know there's some people that probably didn't like it.
Because it's different.
It was different.
I would say 90% of the people liked it. Yeah, because you're right. It had all the basics. Very well fitting, but then it just had
a little bit of panache.
Yeah.
And I could understand because you're in the public eye much larger than I am. I mean, I watch all the girls on the news. And you know who's a good dresser? Jenny.
I love Jenny.
She's got some nice outfits.
Yep.
I don't know her, but there's something she puts on and I'm like, that looks fabulous.
You're like, good job.
Yeah.
Okay,
exactly.
well, dress us, ladies. What would you do? What would you do with us? And you don't have to name names, just like in general. Give us a tip. Give us a parting tip.
Okay. Very rarely do I see anybody wearing a blazer. And I know that probably the powers that be say, no, let's not go back to the 80s. But, that's the look.
Well, actually, I would love to find one that fit.
Yeah.
That's difficult.
That's for you. That's difficult.
Yeah.
That's right. But I'd like to see more jackets. I'd like to see less of that. It's called actually the fabric is called TKY or ITY. Sorry, different thing. ITY fabric, which is that knit. This.
Okay. Yeah.
There's sometimes I see newscasters, not just on this channel but other channels, and you're all wearing ITY knit dresses, and they're all kind of the same. It's like stop.
That's our complaint too, by the way.
Yeah.
Is that we feel limited.
Yeah. It's a very limiting thing. It's a uniform.
Yes.
Or the one thing, now this is not you. I mean, it's not just newscasters in general. Doesn't it annoy you when you watch a newscaster and it's 6 degrees below zero and the reporter has a sleeveless top on? I'm like, hello.
It took me a minute to learn that. It did. I know. And it's been years since I've done that, like during the middle of winter, wear a sleeveless thing. I wait till a certain time now, when the temperatures get to this, then I'll start to
If I see you wearing something sleeveless or shorter sleeved or something, it's going to be warm out. Okay.
Yeah. Must be in the 60s.
Sometimes I'm not listening, but.
Must be in the 60s.
Yeah.
That's what I always think.
But it would be nice because every female, and even men too, if I ever see a man with a mismatched suit on again, God. That's my opinion.
Well, thank you for having something to say about men because we always say that they have it easy. Like we are judged on what we wear on a daily basis and people remember what we wear.
But did you ever see a male newscaster stand up and he's got a suit jacket, not a sport coat on, a suit jacket on and a pair of pants that doesn't even freaking match anywhere?
Quite often.
And you go, stop it.
Yes.
Or their jacket is too snug. Guys. to me, that's important.
Yes,
That's
something that fits well
Mhm.
is important.
That's really important. So, I mean, it's not just the women, it's the men too. And I know a bunch of the guys.
Yeah.
So it's like I would never say anything to them because that's really not my place. But
Well, I
you
don't know. I ask you.
you ask me all the
I
time.
do ask you.
Yeah. But but you see that, and from my eye, that's my eye. To me, that's unprofessional. It's you guys are classier than that, and show it.
Dress for the part.
Dress for the part.
Dress for the part.
Dress for the job you want. Dress for, I was always taught that. Dress for the job you want. And I was brought up when women weren't breaking glass ceilings. It was like the beginning. Back in the 80s, when I first got into the retail industry and the fashion industry, I was very young. And seriously, I was in my early 20s. And I was being hired in a management position where I was the only woman. That was hard. I didn't play golf. I still don't play golf. But I was always, had to make sure I was dressed. And you want to call it the power suit, you can call it the power suit. I was never bitchy, but I was always confident, and I always went, okay, we're built a little different, but I still have a say at the table.
I always say if you look good, you feel good.
You feel confident.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. I come to work sometimes when I know I've got something going on, like I that makes me a little bit nervous. I will wear an outfit that makes me feel powerful. It may not look any different than what you normally see me in, but there's certain pieces that I wear that I go, that's pretty badass. I look good. My hair came out good. That's great. Let's go.
Yeah.
And that's, we all have that. I'm sure you have an outfit.
We
like
have that thing in the newsroom where we say, I'll say, I feel like a 3 today.
Yeah.
On a scale from 1 to 10, I'm a solid 3 or a 7. Maybe I feel like a 10 that day. And it really does depend on what you put on
Right.
and how you feel in what you've got on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So if you look good, you feel
You're
good.
good.
All right. So for the ladies that are out there and they're like, okay, I'm stuck. I'm wearing the uniform. I don't have the confidence to step out of that. Let's end on, what advice would you give them when they're ready to make that change? They want to feel confident and they want to feel good.
Be open-minded, first off. Don't say no. I would shop with my mother, and she would pick out something, and I was a buyer for Lord & Taylor's at the time, and I'd be like, I don't like that. And she would just try it on. So to shut her up, I would try it on. I'd be in the fitting room and go, damn it, it looked good. If you come into the store and I ask you about your lifestyle, I'm not being nosy. I just need to know, do you work? What do you do? What do you do when you're not at work? Let's build a wardrobe around that. And a lot of women have been coming in with major weight loss. I don't know if it's the Ozempic thing or whatever, but now they don't know how to dress that body, and they're not introduced to it. So we start out with, what do you do? What's your everyday like? Let's talk about it. Well, I like to wear these t-shirts. Good. I have things that feel like that t-shirt, but might look a little bit better. And we do that. We try different pieces, and you just build a little basic wardrobe, even if it's a fabulous pair of black slacks, a great pair of jeans, a couple of good basic tops, and a couple of blazers, and a denim jacket. I never thought those words would come out of my mouth. A fabulous denim jacket.
I love hearing that because I love mine.
I got to say, I love mine too, because it has 4 pockets, 2 inside and 2 on the outside. I'm all about pockets. You can go really far with that. And from there, everything is just fun add-ons, just good basics.
Victoria, thank you so much for being here.
You're very welcome.
Every time I hang out with you, it's just like I learned something new and I have a blast.
I'm glad you do.
So ladies, you know what? If you look good, you feel good, and you're worth it for sure. All right, go make the rest of your days the best of your days.
Bye, everybody.